Good Saturday morning. We start your weekend off taking a live look over the Colorado Front Range, looking east. A beautiful and warm weekend for this Father's Day. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Mark Salinger. Want to get right over to Chris Spears, meteorologist Chris Spears, joining us this morning. And Chris, first of all, welcome to 9 News. Second of all, you brought some good weather for us.
I did. I just got lucky. I was so worried when we planned this a few weeks back that there would be widespread crazy storms or something. And the weather is in my favor for the first day here on the job. I want to start off with the visibility map because we have just a few spots on the north and northeast side of Metro Denver reporting some fog. It's not terribly thick, but we do have the Front Range Airport with just 2-mile visibility. And you can actually see this little shallow bank of fog. This is our Lookout Mountain camera right there. I mean, it's shallow. It's only a few hundred feet thick. It'll burn off here before too much longer. Don't panic if you're waking up in one of the areas with some fog. Mostly sunny today. That is the main story. Heating back up. In fact, in a big way, we're going well above normal, not only today, but for the next few days. And we can't 100% get rid of the thunderstorm wording in the forecast, but we'll take the description down to more isolated storms with just gusty wind as opposed to big storms with hail. 62 right now in Denver, 64 in Greeley. We're in 40s in the high country, 45 over in Kremling. On our way to the 90s mark. How high do we go? Could somebody see 100? We'll talk about that in the main forecast coming up.
Chris, thank you. Right now, Denver police are investigating a shooting that happened late last night. DPD says it happened on the 900 block of West 6th Avenue, about a mile west of Spear Boulevard. One person was taken to the hospital. Don't know how badly they were hurt. Officers are still working to develop that information, as well as any suspect information. Once we learn more, we'll update you here on air on 9 News, as well as online. Denver Public Schools has changed the way it searches for weapons on campus throughout this past year, and this year they're crediting those changes with helping improve safety. The district says fewer weapons were found on campus this past school year than any of the previous years recently. In the 2021 to 2022 school year, the district found more than 200 weapons, including guns, tasers, and knives. The following year, that number dropped to 186. This past school year, the district found 166 weapons, a lower amount. Still a lot, though. Last year, DPS stopped allowing staff to perform weapons searches after a student shot 2 deans inside East High School during a search. A classmate was shot and killed down the street from that campus at East High School just weeks earlier. Only trained campus security officers are allowed to check students. Armed school resource officers are also back in its high schools at Denver Public Schools. DPS's chief of safety believes armed SROs are keeping those numbers down.
Not just, standing guard at the front door. They're building relationships and making a positive impact. And working with those students to solve things before they get elevated and escalated.
There could be a measure on the ballot this November. It would help pay for projects at DPS, including adding metal detectors. The school board is reviewing that proposal. They'll vote on it in August. A woman who insisted that she was definitely not a squatter, just living rent-free in a home in Lakewood, has now moved out. The 102-year-old home became empty last year when the homeowner died and didn't leave behind a will. Mecca Bussey moved in. During the time that she lived there, police responded to the home nearly 20 times for complaints, including calls from neighbors referring to her as a squatter. She denies that she was a squatter, didn't have a written lease, but claimed that she had a verbal lease with the homeowner's granddaughter to live there in exchange for upgrading the house. Public records that we found say that the granddaughter is considered a vulnerable adult who may not have the mental capacity to make decisions. We also found that Bussey has a criminal history of felony identity theft. The property is now in control of a public administrator who was appointed by the court system to try and figure out who should get that house. Locks have been changed, and the homeowner's granddaughter continues to live in another home with a caretaker. A parade, parties, and of course important discussions. The city of Denver is kicking off Juneteenth celebrations this weekend. The holiday commemorates the day that slaves in Texas found out that they were finally free after the Emancipation Proclamation. This morning, 9 News reporter Brianna Clark joins us live from Denver's historic Five Points neighborhood, where they're getting ready for the big Juneteenth Music Festival. Good morning, Brianna.
Yeah, good morning, Mark. Did you guys know that Denver's Juneteenth celebration is actually one of the largest in the nation, dating back to the 1950s? They're expecting tens of thousands of people to walk these streets throughout this two-day event. Now, the gates don't open until noon, but vendors have been trickling in all morning. This is the African art booth. These folks have been coming here for the last 10 years. They're one of the first vendors here to start setting up. I'm excited to see kind of what's under these tarps. You guys will get a look too if you come into the event. Now, tomorrow, headliner, Bow Wow, my teenage heartthrob. He will be here tomorrow headlining the event on the main stage. That also includes tomorrow Denver native Gregory Goodlow. He was born and raised here in Denver, went to Denver public schools, learned music there. He's now a #1 Billboard artist. He's taking the main stage tomorrow. We've been chatting with him throughout the morning. We will be touching base again with him in 30 minutes, so you guys will want to tune in for that. All right, again, gates open at noon today, noon tomorrow. They close at 8 o'clock. There's tons of music that you guys can listen to, dance to, bring the kids to enjoy. Again, about 200 vendors are going to be set up here today. We've got free water, we've got some alcohol booths, we've got food throughout the day so you can help feed the kids. It's going to be pretty exciting. We'll have more details for you coming up later on. For now, live in Denver, Brianna Clark, 9 News.
All right, Brianna, thank you. Well, in the middle of all the celebrations, there's also so much history to remember this weekend as well. We chatted with a CSU professor of African American Studies who hopes people will keep in mind the meaning behind Juneteenth far after this weekend.
Somebody says something disparaging that is discriminatory or racist, sexist, speak up. Speak up without needing federal troops to come in and enforce the laws. Speak up on the side of righteousness. Speak up on the behalf of the people who aren't in the room to speak up for themselves.
It's Dr. Ray Black from CSU. Fort Collins' Juneteenth celebration is going on all weekend. That's happening at the Foothills Mall. And again, the Juneteenth Festival down here in Denver in 5 Points, also happening this weekend, as we just heard Brianna say. That runs from noon to 8 both today as well as tomorrow.